YouTube. It's the Morris Trucker, man. Demonstrating love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Top of the morning. All right. New truckers versus old truckers. Veterans and the rookies, right? To me, it's kind of the dumbest thing. Like, I listened over the CB, and yesterday, driver got mad because coming off the highway ramp, first of all, we governed at 64. If you're a veteran, you should already know that certain companies govern their trucks. You know, these guys that's doing the owner operator and these ancient Kenworths and Peterbilts, super truckers. You know what I mean? They just, they always in a hurry to get somewhere. And I get that. Freight may not always be available. So they got to hurry up, drop, get to the next demonstration. But so coming off the on ramp, and usually what I do, a lot of these on ramps slow down to 35, some of them even 25 miles an hour. And when you barreling along and then the ramp right there, it's usually a curve or whatever. So, usually, I turn on the engine brake, guide myself in there, and hit the brakes. I don't really like braking while still on the expressway, even though, your turn signal or something be on, just being mindful of traffic behind me. So we pulls into this Love's, which was crazy. It's out here in Michigan. And it was plenty of parking spots after 10 o'clock. I was amazed. But this was a Saturday night. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, or maybe it's just not a lot of freight working down here. You know what I'm saying? In Michigan. So he pulls in, I pulls in park, he pulls up next to me. Hey man, you new truckers and these automatic trucks, man, gotta learn how to drive. I said, man, what was the problem? Slowing down like you did on that on ramp. I say, what am I supposed to do? First of all, bro, I'm empty. Be a difference if I was loaded. You know what I mean? You could stop a little easier. But when you empty, stopping, like literally stopping, you know what I'm saying? It's a bit of a challenge empty. Loaded, it's cool because you heavy. You young truckers out here and look at the way you're dressed and wait a minute, man. There's no uniform for truckers, man. Like, I see these comments and I hear this shit over the radio all the time. What is the problem? How do you automatics? You wouldn't even be trucking if it wasn't for that. Listen, man. You sound crazier than a fool. You draw? Because in the 20s, early 1900s, they had to get out their truck, crank it up, get back in. They didn't have sleepers, no none of that. Truckers after them, you see what I'm saying? Were given the opportunity due to innovation to have ignitions, campers, heat, air conditioning. Every year something came in. Shocks, the air ride, you draw, power steering assist. Every generation benefited from the innovation of the last generation because somebody decided it was necessary, like the Jake brake. You see what I'm saying? Like, so how do you feel like these old truckers feel like they should be the only ones on the road? Oh, you should have at least 10 years before they get you out here. And my question to them was, 10 years where? You act like you ain't never been a new trucker. And I'm sure the truckers before you thought that you had it easy. You draw, that's just the way it is. I'm a modern trucker. Yes, I have an automatic transmission. It's not really a true automatic. It still is a manual per se. The shifting is just done automatically, right? It's still adjusting to the load, and uphill, downhill, different things like that, right? But as a modern trucker, I don't feel a need to have to shift. And I can only concentrate on driving forward. You know what I'm saying? And it's just innovation. And the next generation, trucks gonna damn near be driving themselves. Hell, my grandkids generation, they may be driving trucks from home automatically. You know what I'm saying? You can't get mad at that. Every generation is gonna have it easier than the generation before them. These old truckers, man, out here, I'll be glad when they phased out because they got a bad attitude. Not all of them, a whole lot of them is sit down. I was in the Kenworth shop, and the older truckers sit down, talk to me about different things, like when trucks passing you over and trying to get back in, don't flash your high beams, use your low beam off and on, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Different demonstrations I need to navigate the snow, ice, how to pay attention to different things. You know what I'm saying? Like some of these old truckers will sit down and and try to assist you. But a whole heap of these ones will just try to degrade you and make you feel bad because you a new trucker and you driving an automatic. You know what I mean? Like, dude, what can you tell me? What experience? Because he telling me, I got 40 years experience. So tell me something then. Tell me something that's going to help me on my journey. I ain't telling you shit. He was just, irate. No matter what I said, if I said it was a lovely night, he was going to have a problem with it. He was just pissed. You know what I mean? So I didn't really engage him too much. But, my thing is, there's your 40 years experience has nothing to do with me because as time go on, I'm going to gain the same experience, and it's not a lot of experience to get in here. Traffic. Oh, what are you going to tell me about which highways like 81 coming out of Georgia, into Pennsylvania is pretty dangerous. A lot of accidents happen on there. Like, what good is your experience? Then you shitty at my clothing. You dirty from your shirt down. Like, what you been doing? Changing tires and the oil the whole ride, you nasty individual, you draw. Because as a modern trucker, I have no reason to be dirty. None. I'm not changing tires. I'm not under the hood. The most I do is change my airlines to the trailer, slide my tandems, open the back door. I wear gloves for those. When you open in the back door of that trailer, it could be dirty. When you're changing the glad hands on the trailer, that could be dirty. And it's a good amount of dirt when you pull in the nozzle to shift your slide your tandems. Outside of that, there's no reason for me to be dirty. There's no reason for it. Dro, I get a 10-hour stop every day. I can take a shower. I got plenty of love points. You draw. Sometimes I'm not able to get to a Love's. I have to stay in a rest area or a Walmart or something like that. I got dude wipes. You know what I'm saying? I got wet wipes. I can wipe myself down till you draw. I can get to a part of the body. I don't know why I'm always belching in these videos, but I did just get through eating some fruit. You know what I'm saying? Till I can get to a truck stop. Like, I don't understand the hate. That's what it is. They haters. They hate the fact to see new drivers out here that don't look, act, and drive the way they do. Like, I be listening on the CB when I be driving. Driver, you not doing this, and driver, you not doing that. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, I'm in the driver's seat. I'm gonna drive according, like, I go up 76 a lot in the Pennsylvania. It's probably the most dangerous ride for me, loaded, going into the mountains. Like, I ain't been to the Rockies in California, something like that. Just mostly the South in the Northeast. 76 to me is the most hair-raising run when you load it, because those turns are short and quick. And if you load it, you can come around them corners on a downgrade a little. I use the hell out of my engine brake. I rarely use I may tap on the brake just to get that engine brake a little bit more, forceful power to slow me down coming around them turns. But when you load it 40, 44, 45,000 pounds, man, listen, coming around them corners on them downgrades, it's like going down a pyramid. You draw. So I take my time, and I've been up and down there empty. You draw. So I hear over the radio just different drivers who do this, do that. Man, he got to drive what's safe for him, because me, ain't none of these loads more important than getting home to my babies. Nothing. I've seen gang of trucks, especially up 81, all up in the ditch, turned over. And to me, that's a fear, because it's one thing to have an accident. It's another if you turn over, roll over. Because I'm thinking to myself, this window is right here. The seatbelt stops me from moving forward, but if I turn over, my head can hit the ground and scrape or get caught up under there and come clean up off my neck. And I keep my armrest down, so if I'm going that way, I may break my rib. You know what I'm saying? Anything, it's just a lot of different things punching my line, man. So, for me, when I see trucks over in the ditch on their sides, man, I pray that them ones, came up under them decent, even alive, healthy. You draw, because that's a fact of this job. You can easily, it don't take much to roll one of these trucks over on their side. You draw. So I'm mindful of that. I don't care who behind me and where they got to go. I'm going to navigate these turns, at a speed that's safe for me. But these old truckers, man, just jealous and hateful that we have it easier than them. I don't have to do what you did. I don't have to be sitting. What throw me for a loop and why I like automatics is you could be driving for 4 or 5 hours and run into an accident or run into bad traffic. I don't want to be sitting there clutching, gearing and shifting and keep stopping and going, and all I got to do is hit the brake and the gas. I enjoy that. I'm a modern trucker. I enjoy all the amenities given to me as a modern trucker. Hell, I'm jealous of these ones riding around in these Cascadia Evolutions. They got lane assist. Hey, draw. I ain't got that. You know how hard it is to keep watching those mirrors, especially when you're on highways and they be 5 lanes and they shrink to 2 lanes, or they 3 lanes, and then all of a sudden the lane you in becomes an exit lane, and you draw just different moving around because you will look in your mirror and not see nothing. Look up, look back, it's a car sitting right here at your door. Damn, where he come from? A lot of times they be behind you, and then they'll just dip over and dip up. You draw. So, I would appreciate lane assist because, for me, especially if you driving during high traffic hours, early in the morning, late in the evening, or you just like 80, 94 coming out of Gary into Illinois, and it's 55 miles per hour, even though it's 4 or 5 lanes, it's always congested. I don't care what time of day or night you roll through that joint. It is just plenty of trucks and plenty of 4-wheelers. You draw. So, sometimes I look at these guys in these Cascadia Evolutions knowing they got lane assist, and some will tell them when there's something next to them, because, you got to constantly be mindful of what's around you and things like that. So, yeah, I'm a little jealous of that, but I ain't going to be mad at them because you ain't no real trucker. You got lane assist. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys out here are truly hateful. And I hate to say it, but I'd be glad when they phased out. Because, honestly speaking, they the reason we have the restrictions and the regulations against us. Y'all were the ones in the 70s and 80s killing whole families and shit, which is why now DOT won't let you slide with different things because y'all fucked that up. Still to this day, man, I'll be going through construction zones, especially if they go down to about 45 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour. Man, these super truckers be barreling through, ignoring everything. It be signs to say trucks in the left lane. Just to get past you, they will still ride the right lane, and there's a reason for that. One lane is a little shorter than other. You can cause an accident barreling past me. And I'm a new trucker. This could be my first day. I might ain't got the peace of mind to keep the wheel straight, especially when you coming into them concrete barriers that separate, that narrow the amount of space that you got. What's aggravating for me is my right side, because I can't really govern, or I'm not going to say govern, I can't really tell how much room I have over there. I try to look at my mirror, but then I got to keep up. Then I got to make sure I'm not zoning over here toward where the car is at. So I usually stay a little bit more to the left than normal because I definitely don't want to hit one of them concrete barriers. I don't even want to see how that going to end up. You draw? So when you have other trucks, because cars, they can fit in the back of the trailer. Cars are not a problem, but when you got another truck knowing he is as big as you and he take up just as much space as you in these lanes, just barreling past you. You draw, and it's a difference, and they barreling because Sometimes, you'll see a truck ease and passing it, take them a minute to get on by you. But when they shoot past you like you standing still, come on, man. You in the construction zone. You still doing 70. Trying to get where you going, man. So for me, you old truckers are the reason new truckers having issues with DOT. Having issues with getting hired with less experience and things like that because y'all dangerous out here, man. Truly. And then you upset because we have an easier ride in trucking. Every generation had an easier ride than the last. And like I say, in the 20s, they used to have to get out and crank them demonstrations. No heat, no nothing, no sleeper. They had to sleep on. No shocks to stabilize the ride, no air ride on the seats. Like every generation benefited from innovation, from someone who invented a way to make trucking a little bit easier. And we benefiting from it. I appreciate you ones out here running and making it possible for this to be an important industry that, they just can't do away with. Keeping it alive till I got on the scene. But I'm here now. You on your way out the door. Don't get mad at me. Don't try to dictate how I do things based on how you do things. It just doesn't happen, man. You can't work at Pepsi and go to Coca-Cola and think you know what you're doing. It's a learning process, no matter what. Even if you go to a different company, it's a learning process for how they do things. So, when you see these old super truckers, man, stay out their way, man, because they dangerous. Because in their mind, they know what they doing and you don't. So they finna show you how it's done. And in the process, man, they highly dangerous. You talking fatalities, man. I was looking it up. Most of these are truckers that got 20, 30, 40 years experience. Why? Because they done became complacent and just doing what they want to do instead of being cautious. I'm always cautious, man. Because, like I say, my fear more so too is hurting somebody, but hurting me. I do not want to see this demonstration flipped over. I do not want to figure out how that's going to end out. So, yeah, man, don't, when you come into this industry, man, blow them old truckers off, man. If they not finna sit down and try to explain to you, help you know what I'm saying, do different things. Like one trucker, I was having an issue my first month getting in the shippers because a lot of the shippers I went to wanted me to slide my tandems all the way forward. And when you got trucks on both sides and not a whole lot of space in front of you, it's kind of hard to get into a lot of those docks without hitting somebody. It takes a little bit of time. I mean, you can do it, don't get me wrong, but it takes a little time, and you may have other trucks either trying to pull out the docks or other trucks trying to get in and get to another different dock either before or after you or something like that. And I had an old trucker say, hey man, listen, I know what that sign said in the beginning about pulling your tandems at the gate. When you get here, push your tandems back when you see these tight spots and you see all these trucks and they got these trailers in front of you. You ain't got a lot of pull-up room. Forget what they talking about. Slide them tandems all the way back up under your belly, ease in the dock, and then pull them back out. And that's been working for me. If I get, not many times I have to do it, but a lot of times, I could get in and get out with the tandems all the way to the rear with no problem. But sometimes I get into those tight spaces and it just become a headache trying to get that trailer to turn with them tandems all the way to the rear of the trailer. And I've done what the old man say. Pull them tandems and get my way into. Nobody's ever said anything to me. I haven't had any issues with the receivers or shippers. You see what I'm saying? Like, different things like that. Old truckers can't show you, little tricks to pardon the body. No, I gotta sneeze. This fan, I don't know why I always keep, but this fan, man, it gets hot in here, and then the AC off the APU really only works for the back. So I keeps the old trusty fan going. Yeah, draw. But yeah, man, some of these old truckers will aid you and assist you. If they see you having problems, they'll get out and help you. A lot of these old truckers gonna sit back, try to film you for YouTube, laugh at you, and talk shit. Them the ones I wish get phased out. Hurry up, get up out of here, retire. You've been in here 40 years. It's time for you to go, Mello. You dangerous. You might have a heart attack out here or something, stroke or something, man. Get on out the way. So, but yeah, man, I just want to put that out there. Don't let these ones get to you, man. Don't even let them get you mad. Like, I didn't really entertain him long, but the little bit I did, I was just trying to get him to tell me something that I don't know. You know, you've been out here 40 years. Give me something. You mad because of how I slowed down on the ramp. Really, he was mad because I was slowing down and he couldn't see my brake light. It don't matter. It's distance. Pardon the body. Man, I knew that was coming. But it was distance. You can still see that I'm slowing down because, like I say, I use my engine brake when I get to those ramps. You know what I'm saying? My brakes still about as good as they was when I pulled this sucker off the lot. Like, I rarely use my brakes unless I'm coming to a complete stop. But other than that, I use the hell out of my Jake brake. Shout out to the Jacobs for making the Jake brake. You hear me? Yeah, that's the best innovation that this truck could have. You know what I'm saying? So he was upset. Yeah, you got to think about the trucker behind you. Trucker behind me got to think about what's in front of him. You see I'm slowing down. What difference does it make if I have my brakes on? Like, give me an idea of what that is. You know, he just wanted to go off. He already had a gripe against new truckers. He already has something against automatic trucks on the road and so many new drivers out here. Like, he had a bunch of different gripes, you draw, which, you know, like I say, ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm a modern trucker. I got Bluetooth, you draw. I got my Wi-Fi. I got my video game. I got my TV. You know, I got my cruise control. You know, I'm enjoying all the amenities. I wish I had lane assist. You know, I got the lovely air ride. You know, I got an automatic J brake. You know, it's electronic. You know, it automatically blows my air tanks down. I don't have to worry about that. You know, I got a regeneration button. You know, I'm enjoying it. I'm a modern trucker, man. I'm not a 1970s trucker. I'm not a 1980s trucker. I'm a 2020 trucker. And in 2020, trucks have advanced. Oh, death, they complain about all that. Whatever it is, man. It's going to be downfalls just like for us. Electronics. Anytime the computer has issues, that can shut your whole motor down. These are problems we're having in our generation. Well, in their generation, they had other problems. So every generation gonna have a problem. Pretty soon, somebody gonna fix that demonstration. You know. So yeah, man, don't let these new truckers, man, get you down or get in your way or force you to do something you not comfortable with. Because I be hearing them, boy. I mean, I haven't personally had an issue with anybody on the radio telling me, hey, Trans Am, you doing this and you need to do that and you need to. But I listen to them talk to other truckers and I be like, man, shit, keep doing what you're doing, man. If it's going to get you there safely, do it. Don't let nobody rush, push, or, you know, insult you to the point where you doing something that you not comfortable with. You draw. Because, you know, they be behind me. I be seeing them. When I be in them construction zone, first of all, not only, even when there's no workers in the construction zone, it tell you the fines double. First of all, I ain't making enough money to pay a speeding ticket, let alone a double fine speeding ticket. So I ain't speeding in no work zones. Yeah, I'm just not gonna do it. And other trucks, they be gone. Cars, trucks, they be zipping past me. Don't bother me one iota, because it would be that one time I try to be like everybody else, them people get behind me and get tickets, because a lot of times you see when you come about them construction zones, they got them pulled over. And you know exactly he was speeding through that construction zone. So you can get away with it. I see trucks get away with it, and I be thinking like, maybe if I do another 5 miles an hour, who would it hurt? I don't see nothing. But then my mind clicked back to, hey, can't do no double fines, bro. You know, and you don't really want that on your DAC report. So, yeah, man, don't worry about these these old truckers, man. Be a modern trucker and be proud to be that. Be happy you joined the industry where innovation is to the point where it can accommodate you in all aspects. Because, like I say, my head go off to those who drove in the early 1900s, 50s, 70s. Even the 80s and the 90s, truckers were not given the amenities we have. And I appreciate that. And the generation after me gonna have amenities I'm not gonna have. So yeah, man, don't let them ones get with you, man. Don't let them throw you off your game plan. Get out here, drive safe, get your load where it need to be, get home to your families, man. Peace and love.